Hello. We are live. This is an actual live episode.
Yep, we are live on the tubes.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 11 of 16-Bit Rivals.
We can't make any mistakes here. No mistakes at all. It's heavily edited usually, so this is dangerous
heavily
territory.
edited. The script is always we have a little prompter in the back. With all it's very, very, very carefully done to make us look as good as possible, and then we still come off like imbeciles. So I will speak for myself on that front. So how have we been, chaps?
Yeah, been good.
Yeah. How is it going? How's your week been, Ridges? I know you were feeling a little bit unwell.
Yeah, it's been been a little bit. Yeah, he was a little one being under the weather as well, and then you get that as well because they're coughing and spluttering all over you, aren't they? So, but no, not been too bad really. Not been too bad at all.
Old illness has struck every member of the 16-Bit Rivals over the last month. More recently, I think you heard it in my voice in the little mini episode we'd done. I was very under the weather. Cal was under the weather after our little meet in the old homeland. But yeah, so you've been playing Zelda, I see. Been a bit of streaming this weekend, and you're nearing the end of one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah, nearly there. Last dungeon. We should hopefully complete it this week, I'm hoping.
Excellent. And Cal had a very eventful final stream of Chorley. And I'm a little bit confused. I want a little bit of clarification for this, Cal. So it's the final stream of Chorley. But FM23 is not out for another 3 weeks, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So this can't mean what I think it means.
I am retiring from content creation. This is my big announcement, everyone. It's over. I've had my day in the sun, and now it's time for me to pass the baton.
As the stars on the rise.
Absolutely. I don't know. Chorley is done. It came to a natural ending. So sort of looking behind the curtain of my content creation, I'm going away in the next couple of weeks for a week. Really conveniently around the time that the FM23 beta is coming out, which is apparently fantastic for content creators. So that's good planning from me. But it does mean I'll be in for the actual game release, which I have announced my game save name of Blue Rup,
which is, if for all those football fans out there, makes absolutely perfect sense. It doesn't need explaining.
No, it doesn't need
exactly what Callum's going to be doing.
I think it's all teams that wear blue.
That's a lot of teams.
Well, as an exclusive for the podcast, I'm happy to say what it is. It is me traveling around Europe in a journeyman, trying to make all teams that are the color blue dominant in Europe. So I'm going to go round the top 5 leagues in Europe. So England, Spain, Germany, Italy, and France is the other one.
Who are we looking at? Man City, Napoli.
Well, you say this flawed, but it's not as straightforward as that. So let's say hypothetically I start at Inter Milan, let's say. Yeah. I might win the league after 3 seasons, and then I've won the Italian league. And then I've got to wait for a club to become available. And they've got to be blue, and they've got to be one of the best ones.
Forever.
Exactly. So maybe I have to go to Hoffenheim, or I have to go to Espanyol. So I can't. I'm not necessarily just going to be like, right, now I'm going to Man City, now I'm going to PSG.
Clever. Or as he's hoping,
Everton.
Well, who knows? Maybe Everton will come in.
So essentially, it could be any team with any bit of blue in.
Yeah.
And we're talking, does it have to be the top division in those leagues?
Yeah, ideally. Obviously, if I can't get in, then I could go in a league below and work my way up with that team. Who knows? Let's say the hypothetical start of Inter Milan goes absolutely dreadfully and I get sacked out of the season. Maybe I do need to build myself back up in a different division. But that is my plan.
That's
yes, in answer to your question, I did come up with the name Blue Rup and then make the save around it. But yeah, so that's my plan. But in answer to, I've been very long-winded, but in answer to your question about what am I going to do over the next 3 weeks, I don't know. I might stream next week. I might not. I might just have a prolonged rest and then just come back for FM23. I'm not sure at this point. Who knows? I might even negotiate with Ridges and see if we can do something Pokemon this week.
We are all very, very, very excited about Blue Rip. I know. I think that's quite an interesting take on an FM save.
Thank you.
But could you just quickly, for those who maybe aren't familiar with you, just go through Chorley and how that journey ended? 13 years, I believe.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Flawed, but actually today I've been working on the journey of Chorley, and that will be available on my YouTube channel, which is Y Callum. Probably tonight is my aim. So if you are watching this podcast, it is probably live right now. So if you want to watch the 13 seasons highlights reel and breaking down all of the magnificent Chorley save that is just tucked right here inside my heart, then feel free to have a look at that. But it's been amazing, and it came to quite the pinnacle over the last couple of days.
We'll leave Callum. Don't tell anybody what happened if they haven't seen it. They can go and watch the YouTube for a full rundown of the 13 years in charge. And trust me, it's a good watch. I haven't seen the edited version, but I've seen it through to the.
We've been there for the last 6 months.
Well, this is the bizarre thing. Yeah. Like, I appreciate, because obviously you two are different content creators to myself in the sense of you play a lot of variety of games. So, like, for example, Ridges is currently playing through Zelda, and how long? How in reality you might stream that for 2-3 weeks? Would you say? Something around that sort of level, and you'll love it and you'll enjoy it, but then it's over and then you move on to the next one. This is in effect been me playing a game solidly for about 7 months, and it's genuinely quite sad to let it go. It's really odd. It's a very odd feeling. I think if FM23 wasn't out, I'd carry on going. Okay. I think if it hadn't fallen in that window, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's bittersweet.
I feel that you're going to have to get your favourite Chorley player of all time printed onto the back of that Chorley shirt.
That Chorley shirt, you mean?
Yeah.
Just that there. Yeah. I don't know what to do with it. I'll be honest with you, I've emailed Chorley. I'm trying to get down there. I haven't had anything back yet, so it's probably not going to happen.
Well, it's signed and framed by the whole Chorley team.
Well, I'd like something. Yeah. Even if it's a case of going down to a game, like it would be good fun to sort of just go down for the afternoon, watch Chorley, see whether I can get Captain Connor to sign my shirt.
Up, isn't it?
Go up to Chorley, of course. Yeah.
Definitely.
It was great fun. Great fun.
I've got a question then. Hopefully it doesn't take you long to think, but who is your greatest ever player for Chorley in your save?
It's really tricky because over 13 years you've got like heroes from the start, heroes from the middle, heroes from the end.
If you had to pick one,
I don't know.
Try picking your favorite child.
I really like Dragon. I
was going to say I thought it was going to be Dragon.
Dragon was good. Captain Connor was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably Dragon, just because his name's Dragon. It's cool.
I think my favorite was Neil McNeil.
Neil, he's great. What a player. Oh, Tiny Nigel. I take it all back. It's Tiny Nigel. It's Tiny Nigel. What a guy. Tiny Nigel Hewson.
Well, there
that
you
means
go.
absolutely nothing to most people.
It doesn't, but it means something.
Well, if you want to know what it means, then go check out Callum's YouTube.
Exactly. And you can see all of that, obviously, tonight, along with us here. But so I want to start. We've got a fairly meaty subject in the news, but I want to start with a quick, light topic, and it's about game difficulty. So I'm obviously going to say, I completed Xenoblade 3.
Yeah!
Blimey, finally.
It's taken a while. It's taken a huge chunk of time. But
So what you're basically saying then, Flawed, is the story isn't that long. It's just the side quests.
The side quests are very meaty. They're like huge. They're really good. They really give a lot of. They're just the characters are great. They're not just filler. They feel like an essential part of the story.
I think last time we spoke, you said that you hadn't really played the story, so you were very much involved in all the side quests.
In the side quests, and I played a huge amount. I didn't realize how close I was to the end until I started playing through the main story, because I was just so engrossed in these side content and from building. You can go and attack certain colonies and liberate them and such. But I played it last night and I was intending on completing it. I thought I'm going to complete it before the podcast, and it got later and later last night, and I thought, I'm getting so tired, I'm not going to be able to complete it. And then I picked up this morning and I completed it, and what a game, a fantastic game. And I thought I was so overpowered because I thought I've been doing all these side missions. I'm on level 84, my characters, so I'm blowing through some high level enemies here, so I'm going to finish this really quickly. And then the last leg of the journey is just they throw so many enemies at you, and to the point where I thought, I'm actually just going to run past these because they're doing my head in now. I'm going to get to the end, and I did it, and I completed it this morning. And I would say this is a game that isn't. You can take it. You can play it easy and just go through the story. It has difficulty levels. Not all the Xenoblade games do have difficulty levels. Play it normal, play it hard. I play most of my games on normal. I like a little bit of a challenge, but I don't like to be impeded so much that it puts me off the game because I only have so much time. So I generally play my games on normal, and I'm a little reluctant to go to easy, and I'm a little reluctant to go to hard, and very rarely do I might go on hard if I do a second playthrough. For example, I played Breath of the Wild on Master Mode, but generally first gameplay normal. I'm interested to get your guys' takes on how you just go for easy story, a normal level of enjoyment, or do you like a rock hard?
Can I just say, great question, Flawed. This is genuinely quite interesting. I'm intrigued to see what Ridges says here. I'm going to pass it over to Ridges.
Okay.
No, I'm a normal. Yeah, middle of the road. I think I'll never drop down a game. I play it as they intend it to be played in normal, and then, like you said, I'll go back and I'll play the game mode plus or whatever. Yeah, I have gone. I mean, I played a few games, and then I've increased the difficulty because I felt it was too easy. But then I think there were games that were sort of a bit more aimed at a younger age, anyway. So, but for me, usually it's just normal. And you can make things as hard as you want, really. Anyway, can't you? To an extent now, with things you can set yourself, a strict way of playing. And again, let's say with streaming as well.
Pokemon.
Some games don't have a difficulty. The difficulty is the way you judge the game and go through it. So, like you can't, like say, you could play Xenoblade and you could say, right, I'm playing it on normal mode, but the certain characters can't use certain moves.
Yeah, and I feel like you got games like that have are predominantly easy, but there's no way to make them harder. And you've got games that are hard. There's no way to make easier. Like, for example, the Souls games, which I enjoy, but don't necessarily enjoy as much as the games that give you more freedom to enjoy it as you'd like. If you don't enjoy getting your head bashed in 100 times an hour, don't play this game. So, what about you, Callum?
Like I said, I think it's a really interesting question. As we've touched on many times on this podcast, I am the least experienced gamer out of the three of us. And I don't know what it was about me. I always wanted to start, especially when I first started getting into gaming, which I'd say was sort of university time. I never wanted to play on easy. I thought it was too, I don't know. Like Richard Suppose said, normal's how games should be played. And I ended up not finishing a lot of games. Just because especially as the game goes on, naturally it tends to get harder, and you get more challenge there. So that's when I used to sort of drop out of a game. So Laura quite regularly plays games, and she'll play them on the easiest difficulty, but she finishes them all. And so I started going, well, maybe I'll get through more games if I play them on the easiest difficulty. And the first game I did it with was Horizon Zero Dawn. Because I tried it out and I got to a point and I just could not beat it. So I left it for maybe over a year. Then I went back to it on easy, played through it all, loved it. And I was like, right, and I didn't find it easy. There was a challenge there. It wasn't like every boss you just bombed, they're dead. There was genuine feeling of achievement when you'd beaten each of those characters. And I really enjoyed it, and I got to experience the whole story. So I would say now, maybe it's me being not as good a gamer, but maybe it's also me not having the time to get the skill set to get better at games.
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
I don't mind playing on easy at all. Games that I play regularly, sport games like FIFA, I play on Legendary because I've played an awful lot of that. And if people don't know FIFA, Legendary, I would say, is probably hard. I would guess you'd call it hard mode. Ultimate's the hardest, but Legendary's the one down from it.
You can make it harder as well, can't you, with like games like FIFA by changing the CPU?
Yes, yeah. So on a game like that I've played for years and years and years, yes, I can play on a harder difficulty. But if I'm just picking up a game, I think now I would probably play on easy, play the game, and if I really enjoy it, then maybe look to build the difficulty up. But I think that's how I would. Yeah, I think that's where I would go now.
And that's fair, and I can see, because I've missed out on games where I played and I hit a brick wall. And again, like you, Callum, this is not an exclusive Callum thing. I've dropped out of them because the difficulty spike was almost too much, and then I just got fed up and I don't know what. And then as soon as you step away from a game that the difficulty spike is, if you want to go back to it at that same point, the difficulty spike's even more hard, it feels even worse. And then you just go, well, I'm just actually not going to go back to that at all ever again.
I do think it's interesting that some games have no difficulty level though.
We have a comment from Jan. He says that he always goes on normal as well. So that's
whoa, a live comment.
Oh my goodness, what is
this? Is our first
Jan?
Live comment.
Hi, Jan.
Hello. Hi, Jan. I mean, this live comments could derail the podcast, so we won't necessarily
never look at them. If it's only Jan, we don't need to think about it.
But we can have in the future. We can have segments where we take questions from the audience. I say, or
from Jan, just solely
from
Jan.
Solely Jan. Yeah, we are on multiple platforms. This is a good opportunity. We have repeated it, but we are branching out onto multiple platforms now. We're even on Apple Podcasts, I believe, is coming up. Google Podcast, YouTube, obviously. We're on TikTok, Twitter.
We're kind of a big deal now.
Yeah, kind of a big deal. It's getting around. Hopefully, we need people to spread the word a bit more and follow more and all that jazz.
I don't know if you can see the comments. Can you read the comments?
No, I can't see any comments. I can't even.
But I think it is really interesting when games have no difficulty level at all, and it's just this is the game. Yeah. Use it, like you said, Dark Souls games, and like Pokemon, like we said, and people add their own ways of making Pokemon harder, because at its core, Pokemon's quite an easy game.
It is.
They are now.
Do you think they were harder with the grinding?
Yeah, I think Shed XP ruined it, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
If you think they're trying to still incorporate that younger group of, so a game like that, But no, yeah, like you say, they some of the games are quite hard. So,
but can you turn Shed's XP off? Because
I'm sure you can in the new games. You can, I think.
I think you can. Yeah.
because that's something I agree with. I think that's almost a way of adding difficulty to a game.
Yeah,
By taking that off, because it's just. I remember, Ridges, you trying your Nuzlocke, and obviously I'd done one for a while, but I'd done it on Sword and Shield with shared XP. So your Pokemon are all in each battle improving, whereas you started doing it and you were like, I've got a bit of an issue here because I'm having to chuck my Metapod in to try and get him into a Butterfree when he's just going to die. And then once he's dead, and I'm never going to get that Butterfree. And it did throw a whole different dynamic to your Nuzlocke. And I think you even said it at the time. You're like, oh, this is going to take me a long time to finish this. So yeah, I agree, but I think it's quite unique.
Even longer now. I stopped playing it.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's indefinite. But I think it's quite ballsy, really, of a game to turn around and go, "This is our game, off you go," rather than going, "Oh, well, we're gonna tier it on difficulty." Just going, "Look, we think this game is fine." But Football Manager does it. This is the game. You can't change your difficulty at all. The only thing you can do in that is like tweak your manager attributes at the start. But other than that, it's just like, off you go. Here's our game. Our game is good. You should enjoy it in the form it's in.
I do enjoy when games use inventive ways to play with the difficulty. I'll use my most recent game, Xenoblade 3, as a prime example. What they do, so when they first come, people are saying, "Oh, we're getting over leveled too quickly," because you could obviously, with RPGs in particular, JRPGs and the like, if you grind, you can build up your characters to stupidly strong levels and then just roll over your opponents. Xenoblade 3, I believe, I can't remember when they started, but essentially you battle and you get battle experience. But you also get experience for completing side quests, be they fetch quests or just this odd quest, or you get experience for finding new areas or finding secret areas and all stuff like that. But that experience goes into a separate pot. So it doesn't automatically level you up. It goes into a separate pot, and then at designated spots, you can use that to level up your characters, or you could just choose to never use it to level up your characters and purely level up on experience points, battle up experience points alone. So it's entirely up to you how you use your points, and you can even use them once you finish to level down if you want a harder experience. So yeah, I do like it, but cool. I mean, that's a quite varied discussion on game difficulty, and it was a quite light topic to start with before we get into the news. Yes, Cal.
I have a secret segment. Welcome to Why Callum's secret segment, everyone.
Interesting.
We definitely don't know what this is.
We don't.
So, chaps, every
Hmm.
time we have a new guest on,
Yes,
we do Callum's questions to get to know them a little bit better. And today, the chair is turned. It is metaphorically, but I'm doing it anyway. I've stuck on my desk. The chair is turned towards my co-hosts, Ridges and Flawed.
Okay. Right. May I make a suggestion?
You only want to do one.
I only want to do one today.
Okay.
Fantastic idea.
Hold on.
So are we doing Callum's questions then, are we?
We are
Hold on. Why Callum's Questions. Welcome in to another episode of Why Callum's Questions. Yes, it's a show you all love to hate. I mean, love. Now, in my hand, Flawed, I am holding one pin of a starter Pokemon.
Oh.
Now, if you guess correctly, you are having Why Callum's Questions this week. If you guess incorrectly, Ridges is. Because ultimately, the prize is being able to do Why Callum's Questions. So, who do you think?
Squirtle.
You're not going to believe it. It was Squirtle. Incredible. It's Flawed on Callum's Questions.
I call foul on that. The hand went down. I call foul on that.
Wait, no. Do it again then. Do it again.
I call...
Do it again. It's in here. Go.
Okay,
Guess.
yeah, you have to show it. Okay.
Guess.
Pikachu.
Well, he's not a starter, so.
It was Pikachu. Oh my goodness, he's flawed again.
Okay,
Oh.
okay. I see where this is going. This looks like a fix.
No,
Oh,
it actually was Squirtle. It actually, I'm an honest man.
Okay.
Oh goodness. Right. So, welcome in to Callum's Questions, and today we are going to be interviewing none other than Flawed Gamer. Well done, Flawed. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, anytime. You are going to have 2 minutes of Callum's Questions, so we can get to know you that little bit better.
Who's got the clock?
Yeah, I will get the clock.
Ridges has always got the clock ready. Now we're gonna have to pause for coughing fits if that does happen during Callum's Questions, because we need a legitimate 2 minutes.
Tell me to start. Tell me when to start.
Okay, I will. Flawed, are you ready?
No.
Ridges, are you ready?
This.
Let's start Callum's Questions. Anyway, question number 1. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
What's your favorite food?
Pasta.
What's your favorite TV show?
Breaking Bad.
What's the best compliment you've ever gotten?
You look like Vin Diesel, which isn't a compliment.
Oh no.
But I don't receive any compliments. So
do you have any tattoos?
no.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
What scares you?
Everything.
Have you ever been in love?
Yes.
What's your favorite drink?
Lemonade.
Followed up by, what's your favorite alcoholic drink?
Birra Moretti.
I saw in Aldi today, they've made an Aldi version of it called like Birra Mapella or something. No idea what it is, but it's exactly the same as Birra Moretti. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Nashville.
Are you happy in life right now?
No.
Deep question. It's not gone the way I wanted. Oh no. What's your... Let's bring it back round. What's your favorite flower?
Rose.
Oh,
A red one or a black one or a white one?
White rose.
White rose. Oh no, I'm completely derailed. What subject were you best at school?
Maths.
What were you worst at?
Science.
And I'm assuming we're near the end. Ridges, describe yourself in 5 words.
I am an uncomfortable human.
I am uncomfortable. It does work. Welcome to the most. Thank you very much for being in the most depressing Callum's Questions so far.
Is that the end of Callum's Question?
Yes. Sorry, apologies.
Okay, next week's going to be Ridge's turn, perhaps, unless we've got a guest on. In return.
Mental health matters, everyone. If you need anyone for mental health,
it does, and it is very important.
There's lots of numbers.
Not going to make light of that.
No.
So we're on to the news. Let's get straight to the news. There's not been a lot of news. Hello.
So I was just on the phone to the news.
Yes.
Hello, is this the news?
Yes.
Oh, it is the news. Goodbye.
It is the news. There is a lot of news, to be fair, but there's a fair spattering of previews. Mario & Rabbids, Bayoneta, Dead Space, Gotham Knights, and Pokemon is rolling information almost on the daily with trailers and Pokemon reveals. On top of that, the Steam Deck is now already available. You can pick one up within 1 to 2 weeks.
And better than the Switch. Can you believe it?
We can discuss that shortly. An expensive MetaQuest Pro is revealed, admittedly not targeting VR gaming, but does have connotations towards maybe the PSVR 2. The war rages on between Xbox and PlayStation concerning the Activision deal. God of War has gone gold, which means it's 150% coming out on
Is
target.
Is it out yet?
Just if it doesn't, I would do it naked, let alone with the
Oh no!
let alone with the stars on my nipples. That's how confident I am now. It's gone gold. It's happening.
Fully nude.
It would take something very special to for that fully nude episode.
Well, it's
to
never
happen.
happened before. Has
No.
it? Games
What?
have never got to this stage and then
No,
delayed.
no, they haven't, because when they go gold, it means they're
Never,
printing.
Never.
So you
never.
see, I don't believe it has.
I
me.
believe it has. I believe Cyberpunk was.
It was
went
released.
gold. It was really. Oh, that's true. I don't know.
I believe it was because I listened to a gaming podcast and they said this happened to Cyberpunk and then it was delayed. So,
Yeah, no, you're right. You are right. It's very, very, very unusual.
but
It
it's
has happened. Yeah,
the
you're
one
right.
who knows nothing about games has got you.
You
But
are
also,
correct, you are
we've
correct.
seen better gameplay from God of War than we ever saw from Cyberpunk.
Yeah. It's not as contentious, let's put it that way. Anyway, we'll see in very, very short amount of time. And also, there was controversy everywhere surrounding both Gotham Knights and, more specifically, in our main topic of the day, Bayonetta, with its voice actor controversy. We will touch on that last because I believe, or we might touch on it first because it's good. It's gonna.
That's not what we're touching, Floyd. What are we touching first? Come on.
What first? Okay, I think we're gonna dive into.
I think we should put it right in the middle now, just to
Yeah.
No,
I think we might go on a little bit of a tangent for this because I think there is more to discuss here than just the general. I mean, Gotham Knights controversy is it's not really even a controversy. The previews have come out. It doesn't look to be, nobody seems to be overly excited about it, but it's locked at 30 frames on consoles with no performance mode. And people are like, PlayStation 5 and Xbox should be able to handle better performance and all that jazz. But anyway, it's not really that exciting a topic, to be honest. So we can, does anybody care?
No.
First? No? No. I'm not going to be playing Gotham Knights on release. I might pick it up next year, perhaps, if there's if it's on a sale, and if it gets really, really, really good reviews, I might be tempted. But it needs to get really, really, really good reviews, which I don't think.
So, in other words, you and Ridges will have it on release, almost guaranteed. Well, here he goes, shaking his head.
No.
It's out on Friday, isn't it?
Exactly.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I believe.
But also out on Friday, Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah, it is.
And I would rather play Mario and Rabbids. And I've got courtesy of someone who's maybe not in chat anymore. He gifted me 2 games that I haven't redeemed yet. And one of them may be Mario and Rabbids. Whereas if I get Gotham Knights for however stupid amount they want to charge for it, and it's awful, I will cry. So, yeah. So
I'm hearing live that Jan is still in chat.
Oh, is he?
And says you won't pick it up. So
yes, I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to pick it up. Agreed. So yeah, let's get into the Bayonetta controversy. So essentially, 2 weeks before Bayonetta's releasing, out comes the original Bayonetta voice actress, because everybody was wondering whether she was in it. There was a whole, is she, isn't she? Is there a different story? Is that why she's not in it? Maybe she's in it as a guest character. Turns out she released a statement saying, the reason I'm not voicing voicing Bayonetta is because they offered me an insulting offer, which was the equivalent of $4,000 for the game. And she basically refused it. But on top of the refusal, she then went on to ask the Bayonetta fans essentially to boycott the game. And then she also kind of attacked the voice actress that is now playing Bayonetta, Jennifer Hale, I believe her name is. So, again, this is a very complicated issue that I don't think any of us are very qualified to talk about. However, we are certainly going to try. So we might say some controversial things. I do believe, I want to just preface this by saying we aren't, unless Callum or Ridges has a past that I am unfamiliar with, which we don't have a voice actor background. I don't have any any voice actress
Oh, come
actor
on,
friends.
Claude. You know me and Ridges. We were the double
Yeah.
act of voice acting for
Have you
years.
not heard my many accents
Wait,
that I do?
You guys were in that Chuckle Vision, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was the voice of the Milky Bar Kid, 1993 to 1996.
So I believe there is some for some proper.
And I'm in the new Mario film. Did you not know that?
He's Chris Pratt.
It's me, Mario.
He's here.
He's here. You have to do the iconic line, "Mushroom Kingdom, here we come."
Yeah, that I kind of. You mean wahoo?
Yeah, wahoo! So, but yeah, look, I will start by saying I don't believe we have enough context, and I think context is very, very important to make a decision.
Well,
I feel like everybody.
My point straight away from obviously reading this was £4,000 is not a lot of money in today's that to how many hours.
Agreed and disagreed here. I am going to agree with you and disagree with you here right off the bat, Richards, because this is why we might all disagree on something. So this is why I'm saying context matters, because we don't really know. But I did a little bit of research, and again, there's just so many variants on voice acting in general and how much they get paid, and we can encapsulate it. Just there's just a from here to here is it's difficult to explain. But what I'm saying is, so Bayoneta, for example, is not a huge franchise, right? Let's not pretend it's a huge franchise. The best selling was probably around, I think, for a single SKU was probably 1.5 million. And okay, that is a good amount. I'm not arguing that. But also, if you've ever played the Bayoneta games, they're not really. I can't imagine they're not heavy on dialogue. Some are saying it may have taken 4 to 5 days for her to record the lines. Okay. And some people are saying it's roughly sort of 850 a day as a good payday for a voice cast. Again, it depends on the project. It depends on your standing. It depends on so many variables. We also don't know whether the story of the game. So we don't know whether it looks like there's multiple Bayonetas. Maybe the Bayonetta in this game isn't the Bayonetta from the first 2 games, and maybe they were like 4,000. You're not really recording that many lines. It's going to take you a day. Okay, all I'm saying is there's no context. So 4,000 doesn't seem like a lot. However, it might be a lot if all she had to record was a couple of things. Again, I understand that she might feel disrespected because she helped build the character, so therefore she feels like she should help further the character. But again, are we saying the amount of work you put into something is where the value, or the amount you contribute to something is the value? Because if we're saying the amount of work you put into something, I would be quite chuffed if for 3 hours in the studio, 4 days a week, for that week I earned $4,000. And that's all I'm saying. Context is very, very important. And again, as she rightly said it in the video, they are doing nothing illegal, but they're doing something immoral, which again is debatable. And I'm not saying someone's right or someone's wrong. All I'm saying is, like, the full story needs to be something's missing. Something.
I really like the point you've made. I think for Joe Blogs on the street to get, if one of us, if Bayonetta said, right, she doesn't want to do it, we're going left wing here. We want one of the 16-bit rivals to come in and voice the lead character in Bayonetta. And we're going to pay you $4,000 to do it. We'd be like, thank you very much.
Yeah. Exposure and money.
How much is a typical voice actor paid?
Exactly.
If you're talking about Bayonetta as not an S tier game,
So
A tier? Would you maybe?
I don't know, because this is where this is where it comes into balance. This is where I'm saying the context. But for example, the voice of Kratos was changed as well. So was the voice of Snake in Metal Gear. We've had instances like this happen, but also like the Neil Druckmanns of the world and the top voice actors, for Uncharted and for.
I've got information.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, Lord.
No, you carry on.
Ashley Birch, who is the voice of Aloy.
Yeah, but she's one of the top. Just for context, Ashley Birch is one of the highest paid voice actresses.
Interesting you say that, because she gets paid an annual salary of $50,000.
Yeah,
annually.
Yeah.
So
depends on how much work she does, I suppose.
Again, it's context, because she's involved in a lot of projects. Now, if you look at Ashley Birch and you look at her filmography, look at all the things she's been in, and this is another little point I want to make. So a lot of people are saying they got rid of.
Sorry, Jennifer Hale. Is she
more prominent? Jennifer Hale is a more prominent voice actress than the Helena Taylor. No disrespect to Helena Taylor. I love Bayonetta. I loved it 1 and 2. Thought she did a great job. I'm just saying, this is where you can start going, okay, well, that can't be correct, surely, because for one, okay, people are saying that they didn't like Helena Taylor because she was involved in a union, so they didn't want to deal with unions. Jennifer Hale is part of a bigger union, so you can't say they didn't want her there, but we'll hire someone else who's in a voice. They didn't say. There's the argument where people were saying they offered her lowball because they wanted Jennifer Hale, who's more prominent. I would also push back against that and saying, well, Bayonetta still sounds like Bayonetta. So are more people now going to buy it because Jennifer Hale's involved? I don't.
This is what I was thinking. Maybe they've gone for a name.
Yeah,
because she's done Mass Effect, Metal Gear,
she's
Halo,
done Metroid. She's been in a lot of things, but this is where, again, I'll drum in it. But context is very important, and I do sympathise. I feel like this is it is a complicated subject. I don't want it to look like I'm being insensitive to the actress. If she feels like she's been undervalued, I understand. I've been in work where I feel undervalued. The option for her was take a lowball offer or step away from a project that she probably loves. It looks like she says she's struggling financially. It looks like one of the last projects she worked on was the last Bayonetta game, which was almost 10 years ago. And then she did some voice work for Smash Brothers. She hasn't done a lot of work recently, which I don't know, but it's another story. You don't have the full story, do you, really? And this is all I'm saying is it's difficult to get into. Well, that's what I said on, we're sort of in the weeds here. I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody profession, but how do we feel about her asking for people to boycott the game? And I'll be crystal clear. I've been planning on buying Bayonetta. I haven't pre-ordered it or anything. This won't stop me buying it if I still decide to buy it. It's planning to buy it. The only thing that will stop me is if reviews come out and they're awful, which I don't think they will be. That will stop me buying it because I don't want to risk my money. I'd rather wait for it to go drop down and potentially pay it. This won't make me boycott it. And I'm wondering how you guys feel about someone asking. And I just want to say as well, I'll get your thoughts on it first. So how do you feel about her asking for it to boycott the game?
If this is someone who's struggling for work and she's gone this out of her way to make a massive big deal out of it, she's had a nightmare. Because who's going to hire her now?
Yeah, you're exactly right there. And also, if they do release a statement and this turns out not to be the full story, she could ruin her image anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't understand why she's done it. The whole boycotting thing is farcical. I don't understand why you'd on a franchise that you've been a big part of, and I can understand feeling a bit bitter about it if you feel like you're worth more than they think you're worth. Yeah. But that's not your decision. It's not your decision what they believe you're worth.
Exactly. And I just want to say again, And again, I'm not saying she's not worth more, and I'm not saying they shouldn't pay more. There's a whole argument about voice actors being underpaid in general. There's a whole. We're not, again. That's why I say we're not part of that. If we were voice actors, maybe we'd have a more concrete say in it. But is boycotting the right move? I'll give my 2 cents on it right away because I don't believe it is. Did people boycott Activision? Call of Duty was still the most is the most successful game last year. It's going to be the most successful game this year. Activision were almost proven to have a culture of sexual harassment, which is far worse than turning down paid work. Let me tell you that now. It's far, far worse. We've had crunch with big developers, CD Projekt Red and Rockstar. GTA is one of the biggest properties in the world. Do you care when they're overworking and underpaid? Did you boycott that? We've had, look, do you go to your coffee shop and do you still buy your coffee? The baristas are underpaid. Do you shop in big retailers? I'm not going to mention names. The staff, I'm telling you, are underpaid. I've worked in them. We are underpaid and undervalued. What about nurses, police, fire service? Are you going to say, don't put out my house? There are, I know I'm taking it to the extreme. I'm just saying there's underpaid workers everywhere. It's a big problem. Corporations, they make the money, especially now. We're getting squeezed tighter and tighter. And again, this is coming out of gaming into more of a thing. So I just don't see you spend your money. I just would not like to see the culture of saying, okay, because there's a lot of that going online. If you buy a game, if you want to boycott it, that's fine. But that doesn't make you superior to someone who then decides they want to spend their money on that game. That's their decision, and it's their right. And
they still charge £20 for a selfie at Comic-Con, so they must be doing pretty well.
Exactly. So I don't know what your guys' feeling is on the situation, or if because I've spoken for quite a while about my feelings about it.
No, I don't think she's going for a boycott. I can see kind of the whole, she tried to tap into a fan base because, like a lot of people get attached to the character, and the voice and everything. So I mean, you've got that, I guess. For me, I'll be honest, never played it. Doesn't bother me one bit. Would I dip my toes into this latest version that's on the Switch? Yeah, probably. Does it matter that the voice has changed? No, not to me at all.
No.
So
I highly recommend Bayoneta 1 and 2, and I'll give my opinions on 3 if I buy it. It's looking very likely that I will. Again, as I mentioned, my brother kindly bought me a 2-game voucher, which I still haven't redeemed yet. And I've got 2 games coming out this week, which I have earmarked for it. Is there anything you guys want to add on the subject?
I think, like you said, I think the key point you said is context, and we don't have it. So without actually knowing, okay, the person who plays Kratos gets paid this, and with which I'm surprised it's not more known knowledge, because like people who work in TV and movies and sports, you tend to know ish what they're earning, so that would indicate to me maybe that they don't earn as much as you'd expect them to.
Also, I would like to say, she said that she actually broke NDA, non-disclosure agreement, on revealing this. I just feel like she shouldn't have done it. Like I can understand being disgruntled, and you don't know the context behind it. It doesn't sound like she's been handed a contract saying you're going to get paid $8,000, and then when they do it, they go, "Ha, you're only going to get paid $4 now." I don't think that's what's happened. So, I think the story that she sort of wrote was she was offered even lower than that. Right. Then she went directly to Kamiya, who's like the main man there, and he then made that offer. And then that's when she's turned around and said, "This is insulting." And Kamiya is a very controversial character in the game. I don't know if you guys are as familiar with it, but he's very controversial. He's not very well liked. Everyone thinks he's an arsehole. It's like your boss is an arsehole. But there's been some deplorable characters in just about every field, and that's what I was saying. In movies, I mean, do we believe every main actor, a guy that you like and adore, or a woman you like and adore, isn't necessarily just because he plays a good person on TV, isn't necessarily a good person. Also, I will say a final piece for myself is, okay, she was offered, she should have been Bayonetta, I believe. The money, the story behind it, I don't know, but we could talk about the writers who wrote the story, who probably spent more time than she would have done in the studio. The animators, all these people. Essentially, if you looked on an hourly rate, I bet are on lower wages. They're probably harder worked. And I'm not saying anything of the thing, but I'm saying there's more than one person to make a game. So to punish everyone for the sake,
it all comes down to budget, doesn't it? If you get a certain budget for a game, you have to factor in, because at the end of the day, they don't make these games to not make any money. They want to make profit to reinvest to make more games. So
of course.
So
yeah,
maybe that's what it was. That was the figure they could have. I mean, the question, the thing would be whether Jennifer Hale is earning more than the 4,000. If she's earning considerably more,
I do believe she will be, and I do believe they probably valued her more. And it's sad to say it because she didn't build the character, but I mean, this is all you can do. You can use your voice and say, "I'm unhappy."
That's their decision, though.
Yeah,
it's their decision.
It's their decision.
If they don't value her, it's like, if you're going, okay, well, this footballer's really good, but he's better. I'm going to pay him more money. Yeah. Like it's sort of not. That's business. Like you can't air it and go, oh well, I should be paid more. No, you're paid as much as they're willing to pay you.
The only thing I can sort of like, as soon as you said they signed an NDA, that's a bit sketchy in a way, because
I think it's common practice to not reveal the contract before you can.
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought the NDA was there that she's not allowed to speak about anything, because
no. So
no one knew. Like if she hadn't said anything now, that game would release, and then they'd be like, "Oh, why isn't she the voice of the?" Because I bet you if they said straight away that she's not voicing it from the beginning, that people would go, "Oh, I don't know."
No, they did. So there was discussion about why she's not voicing it, because of people saying, I don't think it is. And then the theory was that, I won't go into the Bayonetta story, but there's like a young Bayonetta essentially. And they were who's played by a different actress. And they decided that the theory is, obviously the game's not out, we don't know the story, but the theory was the Bayonetta is, because they're doing a multiverses thing, so there's several Bayonetta. So the theory was the main person you're playing at isn't the Bayonetta of the first two games. However, maybe she's going to appear into it. So maybe she's got a lesser role, but she's still going to appear. So, but yeah, I agree. Not quite sure on the NDA. I know she broke an NDA because she said she did, but what if that was discussing it at all, or discussing the pay is again up for debate. But we'll end our discussion on that. And again, pop in the comments if you could agree with us, disagree with us. Obviously, I did preface this by saying we don't have all the information and we're not in that industry, so it's very difficult to. We can give our opinions, and that's what we're here for. After all, 16-bit rivals, we're going to give our opinions. And that's it. So we're going to give our opinions on something else next.
It'd be a really boring podcast if we gave no opinions.
Yeah, we just give it. I mean, we could. I mean, we could just give facts.
We could. we could just be a news podcast.
It could be a news podcast, just give facts. But screw you. We're going to give our opinions.
In your faces, people are listening to us.
I know we're going to have some more hot takes here. Maybe less from me this time, because I've done a lot of speaking on that topic, and I hope I haven't pushed out you guys from saying what you want to say. So the next one I just want to go over, because we are edging in time, so I want to just pick one. We can either pick the topic of Steam Deck versus the Switch, or Pokemon running out of ideas.
Can I just very quickly touch on Pokemon, because I think we should talk about Steam Deck, but Steam Deck, sorry. I wish they'd stop. They are making me not want to play the game. I don't like all the new Pokemon. All of them. I don't like them.
You don't like
I
any
just
of them
don't like them.
You don't even like the bread dog.
You mean Fido?
Fido, that's the one.
I just think it's really bad. And it's so disappointing. And I'm sure when I play it, I'll be fine with it. But when you release them on their own, it's just like, these are rubbish. Like, just don't. And it's even making me look at the starters now and going, are they that good? Like, and then the stupid legendaries. Oh, you know what? I might reverse my pre-order. I've had enough of it. Fuecoco isn't enough to get me through this game. I'm just gonna get him. I'm not gonna catch any of the Pokemon. And
I thought you weren't gonna go with Fuecoco.
I know. I've gone back. I'm back to Fuecoco again.
You're gonna revert back to the hard mode and just fight with one Pokemon.
Nuzlocke with just Fuecoco. So as soon as he dies, I have to start again.
Yeah, it is annoying. Like many other people, probably last week, I tuned in to 2:00 and it was late. It was 7 minutes past 2 or something stupid like that. For the worst 5 minutes of my life.
I saw that after.
I didn't know what to make of it. I was like, what on earth is this whole thing? At first I thought, oh, have we got cutscene animations in the new Pokemon game? This is great. If it's like this, absolutely brilliant. Then I thought, actually, probably haven't. It never changes. So, it was bizarre. And then to get the reveal of whatever it was, even though she had 2 Pokemon on her head. What was it called? Right. Belly Toad or something? What was it? I can't. Belly. Yeah.
Do they need new Pokemon at this stage?
People expect new Pokemon.
Do we need them to be new every game?
Well, there's 103 new ones in this one.
Yeah, but how many have we got now?
Oh, over 1,000.
Yeah, I think that's too many. I think if you're talking about characters,
yeah, but they're not all released, are they? The full dex is never released. They pick and choose. I think there's 560 something in this new game that you can bring in.
I just don't know why.
It's the regions, isn't it? They have a region. It's based on different
areas. I get that. I do get that, but most people of our sort of age groups' favorite game was either Gen 1 or Gen 2. Most people in our age. And those games had what, 150 and 300, was it?
151.
Yeah, and then how many were added in Gen 2?
100, I think.
Okay, so you're talking, let's say maximum 300 Pokemon over the 2 generations, and that was absolutely fine. It was absolutely fine. We don't need more.
I think, but do people expect more? Is that why they would
probably? And maybe new people are joining, but then reintroduce the old ones. The old ones are so much better than these new ones.
I think people like to have a selection because if you think about it, a lot of people play it online and competitively, so they like to check it out. So imagine if you had the same, you could probably end up. It gives that sort of flexibility to have a unique team as such, I guess.
So get a game with them all in it then. Rather than just sort of handpicking ones, either go whole hog and go, right, here is every Pokemon we've got.
They're not going to do that.
No, but I'm telling you now, people aren't going to get bored of that. You don't need to make any new ones. If you're going, here's 800 Pokemon, people aren't going to go, oh, but none of them are new. Of course they're not. There's 800 Pokemon. They'll be like, there's too many in here. And they're like, good. Yes, there's too many. Now, the next game, we're just going to have Gen 2 and Gen 3. How about that? Are you all right with that? Yeah. And everyone's like, yeah, really happy.
Interesting. I mean,
I think the game's going to fail.
So Callum is going fail on the game, and
it'll never fail. It's Pokemon. They could release a garbage game.
I don't agree with that, Ridges. I don't agree. I think lots of people, you included, were like, "Oh, there's the last good game was this one." You've said that already.
And they still sell bucket loads.
They do, and I will still buy them. Don't get me wrong. But I'm still buying FIFA, and that's not great. It's one of those that it's almost like a home comfort at this point. But I just worry that they're flogging a dead horse now, and they need to do something different. If this game is just another Pokemon game, I don't think I'll enjoy it as much anyway. And I'm sure
there's 923 Pokemon.
How many?
923 without the next slot. So it's supposed to be 103, so that'll take it up to
into 1,000. Too many.
Well,
But is that counting like the Wooper that got stuck in a puddle? Is that a new Pokemon?
What we put it stuff.
There's a Wooper that's brown rather than blue.
Oh,
It's
you
this
mean just
poison
the,
type.
the
Yeah.
Palladian
So
variant?
is that counted as a new Pokemon?
I don't think it is.
I hope it's not, because it's not. It's just they've just literally gone on paint and made it brown instead of blue.
Well,
I don't think it counts.
Pokemon's dead. Anyway, Steam Deck. Let's talk about those.
Okay. So Steam Deck, we had a little mini discussion about this. So Steam Deck is becoming more readily available now. So before you had to go into like a
pot.
like a pre-bedded pot to get you. I don't know. It was just like a bit much, but yeah. So it's become more readily available, and I even see some prominent Switch YouTubers buying their Steam Deck, talking about how great it looks and how well it's doing. It's a really good piece of kit, but again, there's 3 variants, and I think the most expensive one's £570, which again is very. But the Switch is definitely aging hardware now. I mean, I don't believe we can call the Steam Deck a Switch killer, because the Switch, if it didn't sell another unit, see, Callum, disagree. Go on, you can disagree.
I do disagree. Of course, it could kill the Switch.
In what sense, though? What sense?
Well, because the Switch is obviously doing very well, because you've got the Nintendo fanboys and fangirls who love Nintendo, and they will insist that the Switch is fantastic, even though they don't release enough games for it. And
I disagree.
First party games.
I disagree.
Okay.
They've released more first-party games than Xbox and PlayStation put together.
That's not a high bar. They're also rubbish. But what I'm saying is, with a Steam Deck, so you're looking at Steam as a whole. Steam is brilliant. Like, Steam is a genuine.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. No. I'm going to agree with you there. Steam is brilliant. Yeah. It's very good value for money.
Yeah.
For PC games, it's fantastic. The Steam Deck is a quality piece of kit. This is where I will cut off and say, great. Steam Deck has sold roughly 1 million in almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
If Switch does not sell another unit, and then you said also, tell you what, guys, we're going to give you 50 million of you back your money for your Switches, and Switch was sitting at 70 million. 70 million is still a success. You can't kill something that's already succeeded. That's my point.
You can't compare them, Floor, because we're talking about years in my point is, if they'd come out at a similar sort of time, I think the software on the Switch is incomparable now. Like, from the graphical, what you can play on a Steam Deck in comparison to a Switch.
Let's not forget exactly again. I like the fact that we're bumping heads, but again, Steam Deck. It's new. Of course, it's going to be. It's bigger, so it can fit more. There are also shortcomings of it. So, of course, if the Switch released now in its current state as a brand new item versus the Steam Deck, then okay, there'd be an argument. The Switch is 6 years old. It is aging hardware. They're thinking
the new Switch will still be worse.
It will still be. It won't be as powerful because they're going to still be. But look, the screen's better on the Switch. The battery life's better on the Switch, and the battery life's always going to. It's going to be more prominent. They're going to be predominantly looking at stuff like that. The Steam Deck's quality piece kick, and the next iteration of the Steam Deck's going to be even better. But it is a chunky beast. I've held one now. It was only after I think it was a couple of weeks ago. They are quite chunky bits of kit. They are good bits of kit. And your Steam Deck, you can get games that you can get on the Switch a lot cheaper on Steam and play them on your Steam Deck. There's so many pros to the Steam Deck. I just don't think you could ever call it. I just don't ever think it's going to be commercially more successful than the Switch. Let's put it this way: it will never even scrape the sides of a sales beast like the Switch,
because people are blind.
It doesn't matter if people are blind.
People are blind with Nintendo. They're blind to it. Sorry, Ridges, we've talked for ages. Go on, Ridges. Hit us.
I've seen many modifications for the Steam Deck.
Yes.
And for me, like again, Nintendo have never released anything that's been top of the range. They're always behind. But I think if they can improve the battery life, like you say, look at the Switch, you could play like not even 2 hours of Breath of the Wild when it first came out without your battery died.
I believe it was free.
Don't know, it wasn't mine.
Yeah, you must have had a better.
But no, I like, you know, we've just seen something earlier where someone has made a modification that you can put your GBA games onto it.
Yeah. Oh,
you know, things like this.
Yeah, they're doing great stuff, and they also released a. I think it might have been a little bit of a boo-boo, but they released a little advertisement for it with a Switch emulator on the logo. So they released a little advert and had a Switch emulator in there. It was almost like, hey, we could play Switch games too. But yeah, that was bit
but then also, like say, it's given people who maybe haven't got the space to have a PC, basically, they can play games. You know?
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like a PC alternative, isn't it? Really, like a smaller version of it.
Yeah.
And with the you know, these display points we've seen where they can display it, so it gives that HDMI to put on the screen.
Oh, absolutely not questioning the pitted kit. Not questioning a bit of the kit. It's not for me. I don't really, you know, it might be at some point, but again, like I'm a massive Nintendo fan, so I want to play my Nintendo games. Of course, I'm going to buy a Nintendo Switch over a Steam Deck. That's just you know, how am I going to? I can play the new Zelda through some backwards means on the Steam Deck. Of course, probably could, but you know, I don't know. I'm a purist, maybe.
Yeah, but if you could play it on the Switch and or the Steam Deck, and it looks better on the Steam Deck because it runs better,
I'll play it on the Switch.
My only question for the Steam Deck is the game is that game completely downloaded on?
Because you're not doing it again. You're not doing it in the emulation is never like if it was rock solid again. It's illegal for a start, but forget that. The actual emulation is never solid. So I'd rather play it on the hardware it's intended for, rather than someone mimicking the hardware it's intended for. If that makes sense.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you literally, it's the game. It's legal. It's all fine.
Oh, well, you mean they release it on PC, for example?
Yeah.
Then that's a different point. I'd happily get the Steam Deck, but again, we're talking apples and oranges and blah blah.
Yeah, but don't you think Nintendo are geniuses? They are geniuses because, like Ben said, they are behind. You know, and they're always behind, and yet they still smash the sales every time.
I mean, they don't smash the sales every time. So if you look, we have anomalies. The Nintendo consoles predominantly. They've been dropping and dropping and dropping. So forget the Wii, because that was an anomaly. Forget the Switch, that was an anomaly. So if you take those two anomalies out, the sales have gone and they basically floored 13 million to 14 million units of the Wii U. Now that's, I mean, look, Mario Kart 8 has sold almost 50 million copies of that game. The Wii U didn't even sell 14 million copies of things. And I love the Wii U. Don't get me wrong. Again, look at it. Beautiful. Love it. But again, that's what I'm saying. They are the power example. I agree. I would like a more powerful Switch, but I loved Xenoblade, and it wasn't the best looking game. But playing on the little small screen, it looked great. It's fine. I'm not. I guess
I just think it gives the excuse. We're going full circle here, really, but I just think it gives them the excuse to release new games that don't look good enough. And I think it's like, well, this is fine.
But you can only work on but you can only work on the hardware you're given. So it doesn't mean there's any less work going into the game.
That's why Steam Deck should be better than Switch, because those games, if they came out on the Steam Deck, would look better.
Yeah, they would if you developed purely for the PC, because it's a more malleable platform, so to speak, which is fair. It's fair. I mean, arguably, your enjoyment, if you really want to look at money's no object, I want to play games, but I really, really I like my high fidelity. Hey, look, they've just shown a 4090, GTX 4090 PC. Buy a really super PC. It might cost you 4 or 5 grand, but you're going to get the best fidelity your games could run. Buy a super great screen and play on that beautiful screen. That's going to smash the pants out of PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, anything that you could think of. It's going to look better. Again, we got diminishing return, so it's not going to look so fantastic for your money that you can throw out the rest. They look horrible. But again, it's just a question of what you value. And
I know this isn't a topic that we planned, but I feel like this naturally goes into the topic of cloud gaming.
Yeah, which is
cloud gaming.
But well, that's an interesting response, I think, Ridges, because it's got its pitfalls, obviously, with Stadia. Obviously, you two talked about it in the last podcast with Stadia going, but.
And Stadia was actually the technology behind Stadia was good. Let's not forget.
And it's obviously Google, so they've got the financial backing and stuff. But at what point are we going to end with consoles and just go to this set? Because surely at that point,
Xbox
Nintendo
are leading that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Xbox are leading that way because there is a thing saying they're going to release a little dongle bit. And I want to wrap this up because we are going heavy on the.
Sorry for starting a big topic.
No, it's fine. No, we can talk about that, Callum. Absolutely, if you want to.
No. I agree. We've gone. Maybe let's save that for the next one.
Yeah, we'll save that. We'll talk more about cloud gaming.
Yeah.
In a future episode, but again, Switch versus Steam. Pick your poison. Like I reckon, if I bought a Steam, I'd love it. I love my Switch, and it's my favorite console of all time. So of course, I'm going to side with.
I also really like the Switch. Just to be clear, I know very negative, but I think as a console,
of course. But we got to have the opposing views and whatever.
Yeah.
You got to try to cover both sides of the story, and which obviously goes into the Bayo where we didn't have both sides of the story, so we could only
for example, I'm about to go on holiday, and I'm probably not going to take my PS5. I'll probably take the Switch. To be honest.
That would fill up your luggage bag.
Yeah, a little bit. I'd have to get another bag.
Yeah.
But okay. I like console. I would love a Nintendo physical console.
Okay. Yeah, but again, so you would like just a pure console.
I mainly play my Switch docked.
Yeah.
I have to.
People do it.
Again, and that's what we need to think about power when you're talking handheld. If you're going to make it small, you've got to sacrifice something. It's all about.
I very rarely play a handheld.
And also, I would just say, when Switch was a concept, they probably erred on the side of caution and picked the NVIDIA option. They had loads of Tegra 1 chips. It was a gamble. They didn't know whether it's going to be successful. Of course, it has been, but the gamble paid off. If they'd have gone high end and sold nothing and outlaid a thing, it could have been a disaster. But again, we no doubt will revisit this at another time. We obviously, when Switch dies down and Switch 2 comes out, we reinvigorate the.
It's not going to happen. It won't be called Switch 2.
No, but you know what I mean. A successor. Let's say.
They have never ever.
No, they haven't. And they've never. I don't know.
Too. It'll be a brand new concept.
I don't know if it'll be a brand new concept, but again, this is going to be a discussion for another day. But we are now on to our last segment of the evening, minigame.
Lovely dancing there, guys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. We're back. So I think it's important. I don't know if many people know this, but you guys never know what the minigame entails, do you?
Nope.
Honestly, they never
Apart
know the
from the
minigame.
script that I'm reading up here. I do not know anything about.
Yeah, exactly.
What script? I haven't got one.
I only give it to Callum.
Only I know.
Yeah.
If he wins today.
Oh no!
But do you remember the live show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you remember what it wasn't neither of you. You both were competing against me.
Oh,
Well,
no.
guess what? It's happening again.
Oh my goodness! Axe surprise.
Oh my god.
It is Callum and Ridges versus Flawed, and this takes the form of almost a boss battle.
Oh.
So it's you battling us, obviously, because we're the bosses.
No,
Oh,
I'm the boss.
it's a good boss battle.
Mm.
Okay, so first, and I like to bring it full circle. What difficulty do you want to play this boss in? Easy, normal, or hard?
Normal.
Are you agreeing?
Disagree.
Okay,
Oh.
go.
Hard.
Oh, hard. Are you going to go hard?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Are we going rock, paper, scissors, go, or rock,
Yeah.
paper, scissors?
Go.
Right, okay, you ready? Rock, paper, scissors,
So out
go.
of sync.
Oh,
Okay, so we go in normal. Okay.
Nah, we're
Well,
going to go hard.
yeah.
You go hard. So, do you want context on how I'm making this hard?
Yes.
I don't want to. No, I really don't want to know what you're about.
Rock, paper, scissors. Paper again.
Okay, I'm going to share the screen. Hopefully, this works because it's the first time on this platform that we're doing it. Oh, crap.
It's going well. Live content.
Yeah, so 1 second.
Ridges, let's do some filler while we wait.
So,
So what's your favourite fruit, Ridges?
Ooh, melon.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. Oh my word. What type of melon?
A watermelon.
hey, you're doing Callum's questions.
I can't believe it was watermelon. I've learned so much about you.
Okay, here we go. I'm ready.
Watermelon.
Oh,
By the way, that's the code word. We forget this sometimes. Watermelon in the comments.
oh yes, watermelon. I've actually lost our screen.
Live content. Wait, I'm going to ask Ridges a bit of filler. What's your favourite vegetable?
Ooh, carrot.
It would have been hilarious if you'd said melon there. Carrot, cooked or uncooked?
Cooked.
Cooked?
Preferably mashed.
No.
With lots of butter.
Oh no. Oh, I liked you so much after the watermelon answer, and then you've gone with mushy carrot, and oh, goodness gracious!
Right, 1 second, guys. We should be in if you go to.
We're in.
Are you in? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Here's the wheel. So you get either 10, 15, or 20 questions, depending on what you picked.
Really should have gone easy for time.
So easy is 20 questions.
Oh, that's all right then.
Right? Hard is 10 questions, because I'll tell you why. I have 400 HP, everyone.
Oh,
400
no.
HP. So if you get a question right, you spin the wheel and you take me down. And obviously, the more spins, the more questions you get right, the more spins you get, the more opportunity you get to take me down. So we're going to go with question 1. I need to keep an eye on the maths here. I've got 400 HP. Can you take me down? Are you going with hard or normal? Do you want 10 questions, 15 questions, or easy 20?
It's got to stick. Got to stick, Ridges.
Yeah, we'll stick.
With
Yeah.
hard? You're going to try and take me down. Okay, fine. I might win my first point. Okay, question number 1. Nintendo began as a company that sold which products?
SteamDecks. Final answer. I don't know, Ridges, this is your area. I've got him there.
No.
We've lost him. I'm gonna have to lock in.
Oh, it was
What was it? What was it? I
I think
can.
you would say like sticker books or something. It was toys.
Was it A? I'm going to give you, because you're struggling, I'm going to give you a chance.
Still like
Clearly
most-
not. It's not
Hey.
sticker books.
Sticker books,
Oh no!
toys, or C, cards.
Right now,
Oh, cards.
this
It's
is
cards,
ridiculous.
cards.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, final answer. It's definitely cards.
Okay, it is cards. I should have allowed you
No,
to.
you
but
shouldn't. What were you thinking?
I don't know.
I knew it was some sort of toy. I couldn't. You just got me. Steam Deck was the got me.
Ding 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 ding. Oh, it's a normal slap. Oh, I'm on 390. That was not what you wanted, guys. Question 2. What's the best-selling console of all time?
PlayStation 2.
Is that your final answer? Yes? No?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is PlayStation 2. Here we go again.
We need 100 now. Come on.
Oh, it is! It's 100!
Yes!
Lollipop brain freeze!
Yes!
Jeez. Oh.
I also slapped you just for fun.
Oh.
Double
Oh,
bubble.
I'm
With the
down
lollipop brain freeze.
290. What was Mario's first job?
Well, he's a plumber by trade, so I assume going into the plumbing trade, maybe he did an apprenticeship within electrics. But actually, prior to that, he had a paper round. So I'm going to lock in final answer. Curveball. He worked in his mother's bakery.
Is that your final answer?
No. Just give me the answer.
You weren't far off. I think it was he a carpenter?
Oh, I was definitely going to
Is
say
that your
that.
final answer? I mean, Callum was going with the trades, and he was quite correct with the
I think
trades.
it is carpenter, isn't it?
Go to carpenter. Is that your final answer?
I think so. I don't know
Okay.
what's in my head.
It's
It's
Baker
correct.
now. Oh, thank
It
goodness.
is.
That was close. I thought it was going to be Baker. He is the master after all.
Don't get 100 again. Oh,
Oh.
Ford regains health. Whoa!
wow.
He's
How
back
much?
I
to
slapped him again.
How much health?
I'm back to 400.
What?
Yep. Sorry, guys. Look, I made it smaller, so it was harder to hit.
No, it's fixed.
Okay. Rangers tried to sign which superstar after Alex McLeish checked out his stats on Football Manager?
Not a clue.
I feel like I
Was
should
it?
know this.
A. Do you want me to give you a multiple choice?
Yeah, go on, because I think I've got one in my head.
Was it A, Messi, B, Ronaldo, or C, Mbappe?
Okay, well, I was thinking Morelos, so that's not come true.
Hmm.
Alex McLeish. When was he Rangers boss? Probably 10 years ago, maybe. So
Yeah, but
that
he was
rules
there a
out
long-
Mbappe.
He was there a long time, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's Messi or Ronaldo. I'd guess Ronaldo.
Is that your
Because
final answer?
Messi was at Barca, wasn't he? So he's not going to come from Barca to Rangers. So I would assume because Ronaldo was in Portugal, wasn't he? I'd go with Ronaldo.
Are we going with that? Are we in consensus?
So I would have said Messi, but
It could
Go with
be
it.
Messi. It could be. It's definitely not Mbappe.
What are we going for, guys?
go on, Cal, you pick.
Messi.
Messi. It is Messi.
Yes. Oh,
Doing very well with the questions. 50 HP down to 350. Poke a ball to the balls.
that is.
That hurts. That does hurt. You did go for hard mode though. 6. Question 6. Nintendo means, what does it translate to? A.
Nintendo
luck-
me.
to Heaven, B, Fun for All of Us, or C, No End of Game?
Oh,
Fun for all of us, I reckon.
no, I don't think it is. What did you say the first one was?
Leave Luck to Heaven.
Yeah, it's that one.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah.
Callum, are you in agreement?
Yeah, why not?
It is.
I knew it. I was just the red herring. I'm ready.
Oh!
Yes! Lollipop.
We're back to where we are. Was that question number 6?
That was question number 6. So you've got
So we need to get 2.
four
You
more
got.
questions.
You're down to 250 now, aren't you?
Correct. The good
So-
maths.
So we need to get 2 100s.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay. Well, you need to get the questions right first.
That's
Question
true.
7. What was the first character from a video game to have a balloon featured in the Macy's Day Parade? Was it
Oh.
A, Sonic the Hedgehog, a B, Mario, or C, Pikachu?
What? Have a balloon?
Yeah,
A
Macy's use the big blimp things.
Oh. And who are they again?
Mario, Sonic, or Pikachu?
I'd guess Pikachu.
Don't know. Macy's Parade's been going on a long time. I don't think it's Pikachu.
Okay. Are you going to lock an answer in?
It'd be Sonic then. It's not going to be Mario, is it?
I would say Sonic is the one I'm leaning towards.
Okay. Are you going to lock that in?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. And it's correct.
Nailed it. All me. 3-point dunk.
Oh, hero kick to the face.
It doesn't say to the face, but you can take it.
Oh.
So 210 now, is it? With 3 questions to go.
210, 3 questions to go. Okay.
Easy.
8. The reference to the stolen sweet roll was a running joke with which game developer?
Say that again.
The reference to the stolen sweet roll was a running joke with which game developer?
Can we phone a friend, please?
Who you phoning?
You. Hi, Ford. Do you know the answer?
Yes. It's actually, I think you guys do know the answer if you pick your brains a little bit.
The Rolling Sweet, did you say?
Stolen, as in steal.
Yeah.
Sweet roll. Sweet roll. Think of games you would get a sweet roll in. And then think on the developer.
Sweet Roll.
Think of games you can steal in. And think of games you can steal food in. I'm giving you so many clues.
You are giving us a lot of clues. Food stealing.
You're going to kick yourselves if you do not get this. I'm going to have to put a time on it soon.
Well, the thing is, we're not going to win anyway because we've got this question in 1-1. You got 210, and the max
You've
out
got
is
three.
100.
You've got 3 questions. So you can get 300.
Sweet
It's
Roll.
got to be some sort of Nintendo game, isn't it?
How many Nintendo games do you know that involve stealing?
Steal.
Not a lot. That's a good point.
Say
Not
it again.
Nintendo.
Say it again. Stealing a sweet roll.
The reference to the stolen sweet roll, the stolen sweet roll was a running joke with which game developer? Guys, I'm gonna have to rush.
I don't know.
I think you're gonna just pick a game.
I would have said like Kirby, but
He's not stealing though, is he?
no.
So I mean, you're veering way off track. I can tell you.
No, I don't think I can.
No, so you give up.
Yeah.
I think you just better to say a developer then. Just think of a developer. Anybody, CD Project Red.
I think it's someone mainstream, isn't it?
It's
I'm just
definitely
gonna-
someone mainstream. It's not going to be a developer you've not heard of. Believe you me,
Bethesda.
Oh, I was going to say Sega.
Bethesda.
Bethesda. It is Bethesda. The Solid Snake Skyrim game. Elder Scrolls.
Oh, yes.
You don't remember going into places and just pinching sweet rolls?
Yeah.
You pulled that one out of the bag. I gave you plenty of clues there.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can take me down.
I just thought of someone big. I was like, oh. With dialogue.
Oh
I think.
no! Yeah!
Yes.
110 left.
Oh no! Oh, it's close. You're not going to do it. I feel like this is my first win. What video game character did Robin Williams name his daughter after?
Zelda.
You locking that in?
Yes.
Correct.
This is intense. Oh.
Down to one. We have to get 100 now to
We
win.
have to get 100.
No, I think you find you need to get this question right before you even have an opportunity to take down the boss. And this one, I don't think you're going to get.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to give you... You can go for question 10, question 14, or question 17. I'm going to let you pick a question because obviously we're only doing 10 questions, but you can pick either question 10, question 14, or question 17.
17.
Are you agreement, Richards?
Yeah, go for it. Go for Tim Kale number.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you the questions that you didn't pick. So, no. Obviously, I'm saying these aren't. Let me say these aren't part of the questions. I'm just going to
You
see
chose this question, so I'm going to give you not that.
I'm going to tell you what you didn't pick before
Yeah,
we.
he's going to tell us what there is.
Here's what you could have won.
Here's what you could have had. Who is this character when translated to English? This was question 10. Ragazzo di cranio. Ragazzo del cranio. Who is this character? What would you have known the answer to that question? What would you have guessed?
Ragazzo di cranio, something to do with head.
Yeah. Sort of.
Cuphead.
Nope.
Oh, I've
Eggman. Dr.
No.
Eggman.
No, you're thinking. No, I'll tell you the answer because you're not. It doesn't matter. But it's Skull Kid.
Okay.
Yep. And then the other question was question 14, which you didn't go for. This one I feel like you might have known. What item is needed to make Jigglypuff evolve in Pokemon?
Moonstone.
It is the Moonstone. So now the question that you actually went for, question 17. Which famous wrestler voices a character in Saints Row the Third?
Oh, oh no. Oh God.
Do I give you a choice? That's the question.
I don't think you should. Ridges knows wrestling.
He knows wrestling, but does he know who voiced in Saints Row? Is a different question.
I mean, it would seem not.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a choice because you're going to have to pick someone. Is it A?
Hold on. Before you do this, I don't think Ridges should be able to answer because I think he should know this.
I have someone in my mind.
Okay, who is it?
Hulk Hogan is the person in my mind,
Okay,
but I don't know if it is.
but do you want to go with Hulk Hogan?
I feel that that's the right one to go with.
Yeah, go for it.
Do you want me to give you the options, or do you want to just go for Hulk Hogan?
No, because Callum said I should know it, so he's the
Okay,
only one that comes to my mind.
we're going to go for Hulk Hogan. I'm not going to give you any options, but it is Hulk
I believe.
Hogan. So now, do we believe that you can take down the boss? You need to get 100 HP. You need to give me the lollipop brain freeze again.
Easy.
Can you do it?
Yes.
Oh, that's flawed. Finally, get a point. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes!
No.
Down to 75. Guys, sorry about that. Flawed finally wins. See, if you'd have picked normal, you'd have had 5 more choices.
Smashed
Taking
it.
me down. You'd have had 5 more choices. And we all said, well, Callum said he sometimes plays on easy, which would have been 20 questions to take down the boss. None of us play on hard, yet you guys chose to play on hard. And
I didn't even steal the story. I haven't even completed the game. I'm never playing it again.
This is what happens when we play on hard. We fail. And this was a prime chance to showcase that.
We'd have beat you if you didn't revive yourself.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I didn't revive myself. You revived myself. Revived me. But yeah, that is it. So again, we've got that's the end of another episode of 16-Bit Rivals, episode 11. Thank you for joining us and tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Drop us some questions. Share us across all of your platforms, and we're going to go around. Ridgers, where can we find you, sir?
As part of the 16-Bit Rivals team, Twitch is Twitch Ridges, and then I'm Ridges_ on Twitter for any news and chats and randomness. Oh, and I have a YouTube as well.
Oh. What is it?
Ridges Tube.
Ridges Tube. Excellent. And Callum, we know you've got a YouTube video coming out tonight.
Yeah, well, maybe not at this stage. We're a little bit later than I was anticipating. Callum on everything. Callum _ on Twitter. But yeah, Callum.
Callum, excellent. And you can find me here on 16-Bit Rivals. And again, we do Twitter, Spotify, and YouTube at 16-Bit Rivals. And thank you very much once again for joining us for episode 11. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did.
Bye-bye.